LeBron, he is $15,000 less rich.
He'll handle it.
He was fined by the NBA for an obscene gesture. Something tells me he'll be okay because he continues to do stuff like that. Finds his guy AD with the jam. Davis returning after missing last game with the fever. He's looking fresh as ever. Under 4 minutes to play here. Alex Len, he drills the three. The Kings take a 94-93 lead. They're like, are we doing this? We're doing this. LeBron then to Russell Westbrook, and he finishes. Lakers cut it to a 98-95 game. Under 2 minutes to go. Westbrook, Malik Monk outside. Where'd everybody go? We are tied at 98. Superman's like, that's my squad. Under 5 seconds to go, we're tied at 100. LeBron, he was the hero earlier this week. Not right there. Can't connect on the deep three. So we would go to OT, tied at 100. Overtime, baby. Kings down, 110-107. Buddy Hield draining the three. We're tied at 110. Ensuing Lakers possession, Westbrook with a bounce pass to AD. That's pretty. We like that. We'll keep him. Lakers up 112-110. Ensuing Kings possession. Hield again. Run it up. It's good. We're tied at 112. Back and forth we go. Hi, my name's Buddy. What's your favorite color? Hield, huge all night. So was LeBron, except there. Couldn't connect again. So we go to double overtime. 35 seconds to go. Tied 122. De'Aaron Fox. Ooh, a little dribble action. Put it up. Jumper. That was nice. Kings take a 124-122 lead. Ensuing Lakers possession. LeBron this time. I missed a few times. I won't anymore. We're tied at 124. Fox again. And couldn't get the shot off. So we go to a third overtime. We have to extend our bedtime by 30 more minutes. Get me home. LeBron's first triple overtime game of his career. That's bananas. And so is that shot. Up and off the glass and in, even with Len on it. How you like me now? So now under 2 minutes to go. Kings up 5. Fox driving and finishes around the rim. The Kings take a 135-128 lead. 15 seconds to go. LeBron to Carmelo Anthony drains that three. The Lakers cut it to a 2-point game. And then Hield takes it down, and he takes the foul from Anthony Davis. It's called a clear path foul, and that's how this game ends. 141-137 in triple overtime. Here's LeBron after the game.
Listen, we're all disgusted at losses. I mean, that's the way it is, but you got to also at the same time keep stay even keel throughout the whole process and understand that we can get better from our losses, we get better from our wins.
10-11. I mean, we can go on a 10-game winning streak, 12-game winning streak. Now the narrative is different. 10-game winning streak, we 20-11, and now shut everybody up. So, but it's on us. We're gonna have to do it. That's gonna be easy. We knew coming to the season that nobody is gonna give us nothing. No one's gonna feel sorry for us. Nobody's gonna feel bad for us. So we got to go out and take it.
But make no mistake, we still got to play, Laker basketball. We still got to defend at a high level. We got to share the ball offensively, not turn the ball over, obviously, tonight. Horrible turnovers on my part. I feel like I played a horrible game individually, and I hold myself to a higher standard than that. So, I got to be better for this team, even, especially when we're going through what we're going through right now out on the floor.
It was the Lakers' 7th loss this season after leading by at least 10 points. That's tied for the most in the NBA. They're now 10-11 on the season, the first time that they've actually been under 500 through 21 games in their 4 seasons with LeBron on their team, who played in a triple overtime game for the first time of his very storied.
Hey, Molly.
Yeah.
Molly. It's 2 people on this damn show right now that play pro sports, and he always talking that foolishness when he come on here. It's only 2 of us that made it to the pros.
Someday he'll learn.
That is absolutely true. Why are you being offended? I'm showing love and looking out for you. I don't want you to catch a heart attack on Friday.
Because Stephen A., listen. It's okay for us to talk about our weight, and yes, I am going to eat a lot. I'm going to have my wife sweet potato pies, and I'm going to have Patty LaBelle sweet potato pies. I'm going to do that. But we can't take insults from smaller people. It just don't sit well with us.
It don't equate. It does not
Gentlemen, when
equate.
you have
don't
friends
know
like
anything
Stephen A.,
about
you don't
this.
need enemies.
All right, let me move on and get back to sports by simply dropping this one-liner. I was just looking out because I have every intention of eating myself. Okay, now let me get back. Let me get back to the basketball game.
Please.
They're depending on LeBron too much. This team is 9-10. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games. Okay, like 6 of their last 8 games. If this continues for another week or so, Frank Vogel going to be in trouble. Let me state that for the record on national television. Frank Vogel going to find himself in a world of trouble as the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. I understand LeBron has been out, but just the way that they've looked, defense is your signature. KP, you know this. It's his signature. That's what Frank Vogel made his bones in this business. They're the 28th ranked defense in the National Basketball Association. What the hell is going on with the Lakers? Now, New York stood up like I said they would, Keyshawn. They sat up there and knocked off the Lakers like I said they would, Keyshawn. All right? But I expected them to win. I didn't expect the Knicks to be up 25 points in the second quarter. I didn't expect them to start off the game scoring the first 10 points at Madison Square Garden. I mean, my God, where the hell are the Lakers? I mean, listen, Anthony Davis is a star. Russell Westbrook is a star. As far as I'm concerned, they're 2 future Hall of Famers, 2 top 75 players in the world. We get all of that. Where the hell are you for 60 minutes? I mean, with LeBron out, you got to know it's on you to step up and to show up at the Garden, albeit in the first half, and you ultimately came back in the second half and made a game of it. You tied it up, actually. The bottom line is you're seeing stuff from the Lakers that are simply inexcusable. And the Lakers franchise that I know, the Lakers franchise that we've all known, that's got 17 championships on its resume, they are not going to stand pat with these 3 with 2 of those 3 players, and you playing like this. Frank Vogel, I'm telling y'all right now, Frank Vogel better get it together, because knowing the Lakers the way that I do, it would not surprise me at all if Laker Nation raise up, you out there, KP, and they make too much noise and they make a change based on what we're seeing. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
Well, here it is, Stephen A. and Swagoo. Look, I believe that the Lakers need to lean on LeBron James even more. I think that's the problem with the Lakers. You know, like those old people used to tell us, well, Stephen A., you're old, so you're probably one of those ones that's telling us that the Lakers have too many Chiefs and not enough Indians. See, when you're trying to compete for a championship, everybody can't be a playmaker. Everybody can't have the ball in their hands to make plays or try to create their own shot. And when you watch the Lakers, they play too much my turn basketball. When you have Malik Monk dribbling the ball up, trying to create his own shot, a guy that's supposed to be a spot-up shooter or a catch 1-2 dribble pull-up shooter, you have a problem. I love Carmelo Anthony. I think he has been phenomenal for the Lakers. But he has to be accountable, because right now they're picking on him on the defensive end. I mean, teams are running pick and rolls to get Carmelo on the switch, and they are going to work on them. So when I look at the Lakers, this is why you don't take for granted a guy like Alex Caruso. This is why you don't take for granted a guy like Caldwell Pope. This is why you don't take for granted a guy like JaVale McGee, because guys that come in and be stars in a role, that's what help you win championships. That's what help you get to the finals. Look at the Phoenix Suns. They have they 2 guys that they go to, a third option in DeAndre Ayton. You have Chris Paul and Devin Booker, and then they have a whole bunch of role players, young role players at that know their roles. Look, everyone cannot be a chief. They need more Indians. If I'm the Lakers, I rely even more on LeBron James when he gets back, because he's their best decision maker. He's their best floor general.
That's why I go.
See, my issue with it is that this whole move and this whole offseason and bringing in Russ was supposed to create 2 fives that could go. And Perk, I hear what you're saying about LeBron, but the whole gist The whole idea of bringing in Russell Westbrook, bringing in Carmelo Anthony was to be able to spell LeBron James. This is what we talked about before the season even started. When they get to a certain point during the season, they need to be clicking, and all of these moves were made in order for the playoff run. But when you're looking at this team right now, and Perk, I like what you're saying, nothing is defined. We all know Russell Westbrook can get a triple-double every night he play basketball. Yeah. But where is the team scheme to the Los Angeles Lakers without LeBron James? Because the plan was to be able to play at a very high level without LeBron having to expel minutes, put a lot of strain on
Lakers right now.
That Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis are not living up to their billing and what they were supposed to be doing whenever LeBron James wasn't on the floor. Now, obviously, LeBron James has been out for a few games, and we get all of that. He clearly was suspended last night for reasons that we all know about. But after ranking number 1 in defensive efficiency rating last year, number 1, they are 20th. They're worse than 20th right now. And so when we take that into consideration, the fact that they're giving up 50 points in the paint per game on average, and you look at the level of efficiency that simply is not there. You got a point guard in Russell Westbrook that's leading the league, second in the league in turnovers behind James Harden. I'm looking at a Los Angeles Lakers squad that is playing devoid of urgency. They're in L.A., chilling out, being a little bit too comfortable. And I'm looking at Frank Vogel, and the last thing I want to say is this. When he was in Indiana, because the reason why he's a head coach now is because of what he did as a head coach in Indiana. I will remind you, in his 5 seasons, I got it right here. He ranked first from 2011 to 2016. He was 10th, first, 8th, and 3rd. Last year, he was number 1. And now you got this going on. Frank Vogel, I'm saying it right here. Frank Vogel is going to be in trouble real quick if this continues.
Why do you disagree?
No. Well, they don't have the personnel to play that defense. I was just at that game the other night. We were at the Celtic game, and I went to the Pistons game. They're playing a lot more zone. They can't stop the ball defensively. That's their true problem. And the other thing is they've been injured. LeBron James has been out. AD's going to miss tonight's game. And then your final point about Russ leading the league in turnovers.
Second in turnover.
Yeah.
But because of him, they're second in pace. And I'll tell you the actual answer that's going to stop them from playing championship level ball. They're going to be 5 or lower in the West. And only 3 times in the history of the NBA has a team in 5 or lower make it to the finals.
Right.
Let alone win a championship.
This ain't one of those years. Everything they said is absolutely spot on. But the formula was flawed from the beginning. You mentioned collection of stars. You used that phrase. They're an all-star team, and this is not an all-star game. This is not all-star weekend. All these pieces don't fit. And if they're going to fit, Greeny, it's going to take them so long that we're going to get to Jalen's issue, which is by the time they figure it out, and they may, it's going to be too late to beat all those teams above them or a couple of them in the playoffs. All-star team does not work during an 82-game season when the teams are this good in the league.
Feel you. But I'm not letting you off the hook, and I ain't letting you off the hook. Number 1, that's an excuse.
Please don't.
I'm not letting you off the hook. It's an excuse. Hey, listen.
I just gave you the reason.
All-stars resemble all-stars when they ain't all-star weekend.
In an all-star weekend.
When they ain't all-star
Not
weekend.
together.
So don't want to hear that. Excuse me, they have number 1. And number 2, let me get back to you, okay? Last night against the New York Knicks, even though New York stood up and handled their business like I told y'all they was going to do, here's the reality of the situation. Russell Westbrook is tearing them up. I mean, the guy shot about 10 times in the first quarter, in the third quarter. I'm sorry. Fourth quarter comes, mistake number 1. Vogel starts with him on the bench. When you got Russell Westbrook flowing like that, hitting 3-point shots, hit perimeter shots, you leave him in the game. Yeah. Took him out. Then when you brought him back in, he took 3 shots the rest of the game. Where you at, Anthony Davis? Where you at? He made difference against Detroit. Frustrated you that night. But against the New York Knicks, all of a sudden his defensive prowess was non-existent. These things cannot happen. That does not have anything to do with LeBron James. That's got something to do with the team and Vogel.
Right, Jalen, there's one other thing we haven't mentioned. Michael Wilbon said they're an all-star team. Here's the problem. They're an all-star team from like 2015.
Correct.
And that's the problem. How much of the factor is age in all of this?
That's exactly where I was going, age. So like the education world, to me, your GPA reflects your work ethic, and your test taking a lot of times is your skill. The same thing for the NBA regular season, right?
Oh, don't worry about it. I got you, because we want to hear what you got to say.
NBA
Hold on for a
regular
second here.
season,
I got
the
your
NBA
microphone.
regular season is about your autonomy and your ability to play the marathon game.
We're good.
And
Go ahead.
an older
It's fine.
basketball
We can hear
team, it just doesn't have the ability to do so at a consistent rate. That's why they've been down 25
so
in
many
a third
games.
of their games.
It's unbelievable.
Because this is still a young man's game.
But one of the specific things Jalen said, I think,
Thank you, brother,
plays into this. When we choose all-star teams, they're not looking at anything defensively. But if you look at the Lakers, they are not at this point. There are not enough people in that lineup, people who do dirty work things, who are not all-stars, who can stop ball, who can get in front of people and stay there. There are not, Stephen A., because if they were, they wouldn't be 25 points down.
Michael Wilbon, 25 points down on 6 separate occasions. 2 losses to the Oklahoma City Thunder. We gonna sit here with straight faces. Hold on, I understand that.
Right.
I understand that. We gonna sit here with a straight face and say they need those components to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder team?
Apparently,
really?